tell us how you use live streaming and this particular Restream for your business and how it's helped you grow.
So I started a podcast like almost 6 years ago now, I guess. Private
Mm-hmm.
Club Radio. It started off as a podcast. I was really the kind of the first in my industry to have this. In fact, I used to tell people, how do you download a podcast? Um, After you do something for like 5 years in a row, every single week, hundreds and hundreds of guests that have been on this show. It's wonderful. I've learned so much. It's an incredible thing to be able. It's the opportunity. I'm honored to be able to do it every week. But as a creator, it's like I needed to spice things up. I needed
Mm-hmm.
to really like challenge myself a little bit more. And I thought video and actually taking the show live would be a fantastic way to do that this year. And
Mm-hmm.
so in January, we launched Private Club Radio Live using the Restream platform. What makes the Restream platform and what has made podcasting so much more fun and enjoyable for me all of a sudden is that, first of all, when I started my show, I used to have to, you know, I have to warm up, right? Then I'd have to like
Yes.
get the guests on. That would take, I'd talk to them for 45 minutes between being on the show. And then I have to edit the show for a couple of hours. It took me a better part of an entire day really to put one podcast episode together.
Yeah.
Now with Restream, I can literally, it's all self-contained, right? So I do my show, we go live. It's that 30, 45-minute show. People are being able to watch it on multiple platforms. I'm using my biggest platform for me is LinkedIn. So most of my viewers are on LinkedIn. But people can also join via YouTube. We have a couple places in Facebook, including our Private Club Radio listeners forum that they can watch. And so, first of all, we're everywhere now. And it's all self-contained. As a podcaster, that's incredible. There's no more editing, nothing. And we'll show my screen here in a second, and I'll show you how easy it is to just download a file to
Yeah.
your computer that's just an audio only file. That makes it incredible. So now not only do I have a live stream show, I've still got my podcast. It takes me 45 minutes. I'm in and out and done, and I can wait till next week to do it again. And so I can't say enough good things about taking the show live, what that's meant to the show itself. It also adds a completely unique and interesting element in
Mm-hmm.
terms of my guests. Now we have interaction from the audience in real time. It used to just be me having to come up with the questions all the time, but now literally in real time, my audience can ask a question to one of our experts and get it answered. And that's just absolutely fantastic for everyone. It's a win-win-win really for me as a host. I can serve the audience better for them. They get their question answered immediately, and the guest is getting that interaction. And it keeps everyone on their toes, and it's a heck of a lot of fun.
I can I agree. It is a lot of fun. And in fact, I used to edit audio for this other thing and then like I'd go live once a week, right? And I would agonize and it was like we're talking like a minute or two bit of audio, right? It would take me like an hour to do it. I'd go live and be like that's fine. Like it's let's just go. It's such a natural thing. So tell me what channels are you going live to? What where do you distribute your show?
Yeah, so really, there's four main places that I use Restream as a platform to go to. Like again, LinkedIn's my biggest network for me. A lot of my people are like C-level type executive sort of
Mhm.
folks. So LinkedIn is the place where my audience hangs out. But in addition to that, we go live to YouTube. I'm trying to bring people to to kind of the 21st century and use YouTube a little bit more. We
Yeah.
also have a couple places on Facebook, just my normal personal profile. It goes live
Mhm.
there, but we also have a Private Club Radio specific group. And what's nice is within Restream, I can go to multiple places within even Facebook itself.
Mhm.
And then I do an Amazon live show, not quite as regularly, but
Right.
what's nice is you can use that custom feed, the RTMP, I think it's called.
Yes.
And I can literally send that feed straight to my Amazon Live. And Amazon Live has been a really intriguing way to build an audience. I've been doing it I guess about 2 months now on Amazon Live, and it's
Mhm.
this kind of virgin untapped territory where there's very few creators, but Amazon can really push your content and promote it out. And so using Restream for that platform has been awesome as well.
Have you been integrating products into your stream?
Yes, you know, it's a little bit on the like the way Amazon works on their
Right.
side. It's a little clunky, but yeah, you add the products from your cell phone into the stream, and you can literally talk about the products that you love, and people can buy those in real time. So
Right.
it's a really powerful platform. I see it's kind of like the home shopping network meets like the 21st century, right?
Yeah.
Where people are on the platform, and they're able to actually purchase what you're talking about and discover things that you love. And I think it's going to be huge. I think in the next couple of years, and it's nice that Restream already has that connectivity that we can just start right now. Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, the show I produce and co-host, we started going to Amazon Live, and it didn't work actually the first time because like this made me laugh. The Restream feed was too good.
Oh, to like high quality or
Yeah, it
something.
was too high quality, and so you had to do a transcoder, which, by the way, people that
Mm,
are listening, what we're talking about is like, you can get that transcoding, so it takes that feed and kind of like simplifies it so they can go into Amazon. I think Amazon will improve. It's fine. It's got a lot going on, but since we started going live in Amazon, I've started seeing more Amazon videos popping up. So when I was looking, as you can imagine, I've been upgrading my whole studio setup here at home.
sure.
So, but every time that I look something up, like there'll be a little video in there, a little product video from something.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, show us how you use Restream. Let's, if you're comfortable sharing your studio. I think I made you co-host, so you should be able to share. But yeah,
Yep, I
just
will
take
do
us
that.
through like how you do and how you'd set this up and
Yeah,
what you have going
absolutely.
on here.
All right, so you know, here on the left hand side, you've got my destinations, those places that we just mentioned. So it's what's nice is you can choose them. You know, some things I go live on everything. Some things I'm very specific because I'm running a couple of different shows here. But it's what's nice is I can sort of just toggle these on and off if I want to go live to my personal Facebook there. This is again my LinkedIn account, which is probably for me my biggest network
Yes.
for the private club radio side, and then I can go straight to my private club radio YouTube channel. I also have my Let's Play Through YouTube channel. That's a bigger channel. And then I can go right into specific groups, which is nice. So again, this is our curated group of professionals in the industry that watch the show over there. So again, it's easy, nice, easy way to toggle it. Um, Again, this is I kind of alluded to this before, but what I really love about this as a podcaster is it saves the recordings, I think, for 14 days, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is 14 days because this is yesterday's or 2 days ago, Tuesday's show here. And I can literally just download the entire video as one nice file.
Mm-hmm.
But as a podcaster, what's really nice, I can just download the audio.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hit
Yeah.
download and boom, that thing's coming at me. I upload that I use Libsyn as my podcast host, and I'm done. It's self-contained, and because
Yeah.
I had to do it live, it is what it is. So I'm sometimes we'll go in and we'll maybe add a little music or put the announcer on it, but
Yeah.
again, 5 minutes that thing's up and over to Libsyn and out to the world from there. So beautiful that Restream can do for a podcaster. I think it's a fantastic platform. We'll go into the actual studio here just so I can show you how I set things up. Since I'm using the camera for Zoom, we'll have to change cameras here. But again, it makes it really simple because it's everything. What I love about it, Restream, is it's intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
And I've used other platforms. I've used things like OBS and those types of things. And it's like you have to be like a wizard, like a tech wizard to do that. And I'm a super technical person. I'm a
Yeah.
person who I was learning computers at a young age. You know, I was on the Apple One, so I've been using computers for a long time. And but still, some of these platforms, these streaming platforms, are extremely clunky,
Mm-hmm.
um, especially if you've never used anything like it. So this makes it nice. It's very self-contained. My computer will adjust the shot, but you can see I can bounce between cameras.
Mm-hmm.
I have different views here, so we could have full speaker views. I can do a side by side with my guest. Again, as a person who started off in an industry that was very like my industry is completely not tech savvy. I
Mm-hmm.
was
Yes.
saying earlier to you, Grace, that I had to teach people how to download Apple iTunes and podcasts.
Yeah.
Well, imagine for like my guests in the early days, it was really hard just to get my guests like, here's a Skype, and you got to download the Skype software, and now we got to Skype in, and then nobody had heard of Zoom at that point, so
Yeah.
it was, again, that whole process was clunky for me, and for me to just be able to go in here, and I'll show you how I do it. I hit this button here and I invite a guest. I send them this link. It
Mm-hmm.
pops up on their browser, and boom, they appear here for me to chat with. That's a game changer because, I'm dealing with a 65-year-old person whose computers is
Yeah.
not something that they live on like me.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
just to be able to send them a link that they push a button and they don't have to download software, that's awesome. That's a huge win for me. So I also, it's, what's nice back here that I love is you've got your chat. Now, of course, nothing's happening because we're not technically live
No.
on
Yeah.
this platform right now, but I'm getting chats that are coming in from YouTube. They're coming in from LinkedIn, from Facebook, all the different platforms. And I can actually like put it up on screen like I just did there.
Mm-hmm.
And then that works nice for a couple of reasons. First of all, for the audience, they feel like, boom, hey, I've been, I'm kind of rewarded. Thank you for,
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging that I'm here. But also for my guests, they actually they get a chance to think about the question that's coming at them. So I'll put that up there, 5 or 10 seconds before I actually ask that question, and that gives them a little, time to get their answer straight.
Yep.
It's just so easy just to be able to hit these buttons, hide it, show it. I can ignore comments if they're not relevant to the topic that we're talking about. Love that feature. um, I don't use captions so much, but I do use this area. As you can
Mm-hmm.
see, because I've got a couple of different shows and because I have a paid plan here with Restream, I'm able to choose the branding here. So we actually, for my Private Club Radio live show, we've got that. It says powered by Restream. Restream's a sponsor of the show, which is really nice, for you to give a little value add to your sponsor, whoever
Yeah.
that is, for your show. So now that you've got branding throughout the entire episode, that's there for the company.
Mm-hmm.
What I like here is I can literally play videos. So if I'm introducing a particular guest, or if I have a sponsor that I have a spot for, I'll literally hit this button. I uploaded the video. I'll stop it. I uploaded that video in there. It took me a few seconds to upload an MP4 file or something that I had, and boom, it plays. It plays for the audience. So that's really nice. I've got the ability to choose the background here. So when you do see like that two guest view, I don't know if there's a way
Mm-hmm.
for me to do it, but if you saw a two guest view, you'd actually have my like Private Club Radio. It's like this
Mm-hmm.
green woody background.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice. It just kind of gives it a custom feel that this is my show. People have seen that logo in the industry for, again, 5, 6
Mm-hmm.
years.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's one of those branding things, right? So it's nice that you have a custom background there. Also on my show, you can see I have my name here, so my guest will have their name. That way, people maybe who don't know the guest or don't know me, they know who we are right off the bat. You've got these little countdowns here that I kind of start the show off with. A lot of these things are pre-built for you. So again, just straight out of the box, Restream has had everything that I needed. Plus, then I had the ability to customize it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I mentioned when we started this, Grace, the fact that it's just completely intuitive, it's just like buttons. Whoever designed it's smart, because the buttons just happen to be in the right places that I would want them. So
Yep.
kudos to the design team over there.
Well, thank you very much. I can assure you that from a employee perspective, we are also users of our product. So I actually use the studio product as my office space. So as I'm meeting with people, you're talking about that branding for your private club radio. Um, I do the same thing. So I have us branded as Restream. Of course, it's really easy because all the Restream branding is already built in.
Sure.
But I use that when so just like you would send a Zoom link to someone to have a meeting with them, I send my Restream link. And so that's how we've been
Nice.
meeting one on one.
I
So
love that.
yeah, it's been, so it has a lot of versatility that way. I really love the branding. You've taken us through some of the really great products. So I know you talked about going live, like you were one of the early adopters, and we love having you as one of our influencers, the people that we sponsor. So thank you so much for doing a great job. But I want to know, do you have any advice for people here at Podfest who have been podcasters, or they're interested in video, or they're just now getting into video? Like, what advice do you have about for someone getting started in the space?
Yeah, I think, just like podcasting was for me, like my first podcast that I did, I literally read it like sentence by sentence and edited that all back together after I had bumbled and messed up a million times. So
Yep.
podcasting was a muscle that I had to learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably a lot of people who are at Podfest, they're either learning that, or that maybe they've started to develop that, and maybe they're ready to sort of develop that next muscle. And video, I won't lie, when you first go live for the first time, like you like your mouth goes dry, like your eyes get wide, you're like deer in the headlights. But it's just like anything else. Like once you do it enough times,
Yep.
it's a muscle that you can exercise, and it's helped me become that much better of a communicator. So I just love I love it now. I kind of it's always a little nerve wracking to hit that live button,
Mm-hmm.
even to this day. I've been doing it for a while,
Yep.
but it's once you get into it, the flow of it, it's so much more, even it's more rewarding. And you've got the one-on-one that you don't. There's just something about the live element.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to quantify that, but to be able to like see someone, see their body reactions, know when, okay, I'm going to step on their words, or like
Mm-hmm.
all that's gone. I didn't have that before when I started podcasting. When I was on a phone, I couldn't judge the room. All right, I couldn't judge my guest reactions. I can do that now. Again, having the live interaction from the audience, from an audience building standpoint, is incredible. And then I'll say this: my podcast has grown, or my show in general. I can't call it a podcast anymore because it's more than that. But my
Yeah.
show has grown fourfold since I started
Wow.
going live with Restream. So, and that's just because now I'm in places that I wasn't before.
Yeah.
I'm catching people at times of the day that I didn't catch them before. They still have the opportunity to watch the recordings. We didn't even talk about that,
Oh
Grace.
my God. Yes,
But
we need to. We kind of got so excited about going live that we forgot about that. So yeah, tell me about the recordings. I mean, we'll get into this a little bit more, but yeah, tell me what you
well, you go.
do.
I mean, you go live on a platform like LinkedIn or YouTube, and now
Yeah.
it's cataloged there forever
Right.
for them too. And it takes no other work to do that. I can go back into do a little SEO on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
just to make it rank a little bit better. But I don't have to download something, upload, edit, none of that. It's all
Mm-hmm.
there. It's ready to go. And so, just having that catalog for people to go back on, even if they didn't catch us live on one of these platforms, it's sitting there on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on whatever platform you go live on, waiting for it to be consumed later down the road when people are ready for it too. So I mean, the benefit of that is endless, but quantifiably from my show's perspective, it's been a 4x increase.
Yeah, no, that's you make a really good point there about you know, about the difference between reaching people in one place and then reaching people in multiple places. So when you first went live, now I hear two different things, right? So when people are first getting started, they're afraid that no one will show up, and they're afraid too many people will show up. So and then there's also the nerves, right? Like I don't want to go to all my channels. What if I mess up or whatever? So when you first start going live, did you just go hit that button, just go, or did you start testing it out in groups or in pages and kind of grew your way out there or grew your way up? I bet I know
Honestly, I
the
never even
answer.
thought about testing it on a smaller scale. No, I just hit the button. Yeah. I learned as I went, but
I
if
knew.
you want it, there's no shame in testing it out to a private group. That's the nice thing about being
Mhm,
able to set your streams up, is I could say, hey, just go live in this group I have, or
mhm.
this page that I manage, and you could test it in a small way. But no, I went all out. I played all out.
Good. I figured that was going to be the answer. So I've been going live for a while. I've been going live for about 2 years now, hosting shows or whatever. And I went live this morning to do a show, and I've been doing this. I do this for a living. I work for this company, right? My ears started burning. Like I got so, I just got so embarrassed all of a sudden. I'm just like, so even if you've been doing this for a while, people, you're going to get nervous. I mean, it's
It's
just,
gonna happen.
you
Yeah.
just play through, right?
You gotta exactly, and you gotta have fun with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
just I think what people like about it from an audience perspective is it's again, it's there's not a way you can really explain it, but people feel more connected to you, I think, because
Yeah.
they see you in quote unquote real life, right? For the
Yeah.
most part, like this is my literal office that I'm sitting in.
Yeah.
It's not a television set, and people do it from everywhere. They do it from their desk, they do it from the couch, they do it from wherever they're at. It's a little peek behind the curtain. And again, as a podcaster, like people only heard my voice for how many years, right? Like
Hmm.
I always think about even like radio, like the picture I always had in my mind of what that radio person looked like and the hot mess they were when you finally see like their headshot on the radio website. Sometimes I don't even want to see it, right? Like you don't want to have the illusion. Well, there's no barriers, right? Like they're seeing
right.
you real. And I think people actually like that even more because they're seeing your reaction in real time.
Mm-hmm.
They're seeing how you respond to what's being spoken about as well. And I think that's really, it's a more, I don't know what the word is for that, but it's a more genuine experience to give people. And I think that's what people are looking for now.
Yep.
I think the days of like Mr. Network Television and I'm, the podcast, or I'm the radio host speaking to the worldwide,
Yeah.
people don't want that.
No.
They don't want the barriers. They want to feel like you're someone they can relate to. And again, going live, there's no better, even if on video, I could choose the right angle and I could,
Mm-hmm.
cut things in a certain way so I sound perfect, right?
Yep.
You don't have that with this. And that's cool because now we're seeing people real. And I
Yeah.
think obviously the pandemic's been horrible and people have been
Right.
infected by it in so many countless ways, but in some good things have come out of it, like these types of platforms that are now more people are using and experimenting with and creating, and it's
Mm-hmm.
creating more connection that didn't exist. And I think I just think it's a honor to be able to do it every week for my audience.
I love it. I love connecting with people. I love talking. And even if there's one person in there or 100 people in there, it feels the same to me. So you
Yep.
and I have been doing this for a while. We are probably have way more tech and way more equipment than we probably need. But what do you
Mm.
actually need to get started with going live? Like what do
You
you
don't
think
need,
that
I don't think you need much. And I always say, don't let a technology or equipment be the barrier to you getting started with
right?
this. You could easily, as long as you've got a laptop with a camera on it, like I'm actually on a MacBook right now. In fact, I can peel back the curtain here a little bit for you. Just so you have an idea of it. But what I have is overkill. And I'll be the first to admit it. If as long as you've got a nice laptop,
Yep.
that's all you really need. Now, what do I have? I've got my really nice expensive microphone that my voice sounds good on. It's called a
Mm-hmm.
Shure SM8. It's a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
microphone, but again, you don't need that. You don't need
Mm-hmm.
get started with what you've got. Don't let technology get in the way. I run
Yep.
that in days. I've got another soundboard over there. I don't know if you can see it over there in the office, but
Yeah.
I actually just run it into this very small 2-channel mixer. It's a Steinberg mixer. I've got a couple of lights.
Yeah.
You're gonna need good lighting. So on both sides of me, I've got these kind of nice LED soft lights.
Mm-hmm.
Behind me, I've
Your
got,
little your little mood
believe it or
light.
not,
Yep.
this is like a $20 pickup at Marshall's, but I can choose the color for this. And so because I have different shows, I might change the color out from
Mm-hmm.
time to time. So you've got a little background there. And I think what is nice that anyone can do with wherever you're at is to sort of build yourself a little setup so that
Mm-hmm.
it kind of matches with your brand or your vibe.
Yep.
So I've got books. These are books from the industry that I'm in. I keep my YouTube stats there.
Uh-huh.
It's nice actually to go back and watch old episodes and you see how that climbed up. I've got some awards that our agency has won and just stuff that's kind of meaningful to me. These are a couple of books that I've written. These are some places I've been or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
again, just I think that's important more so than the technology in the beginning. Set the atmosphere and the vibe
Right.
for who you are and what makes you you. And again, give people a peek at what's important to you and meaningful to you. And I think that's better than any other technology. But as you make some money, as you get some sponsors doing these, being a content creator, you'll have a chance to buy the microphone and the camera I'm using is a $4,000 camera, but I don't
Uh-huh.
need to. I could use my
Nope.
laptop, right?
Nope.
That stuff will all come, but don't let technology be the barrier to you getting started.
Right, absolutely. I have a Logitech. I think it's the C 920. It's a $50 camera that like they sell on Amazon that everyone starts off with, just because I work on a desktop. So I didn't have a built-in camera. So I just bought that, right? I just recently bought an Elgato key light. So it's clamped to my desk, but I used to have the same like photographer setup. And I used to think like anyone that came by my office is like, what do you do in here? And I don't like, I'm like just sitting in a corner of like what would have been a bedroom in my house. And so you don't need a lot of space. That's the other thing and you just
Right.
pointed out, you just point to like, you're in your office. Like, this is where you work. This is where you live. So that's fantastic.
Well, I don't live here, but I could.
Well, not live. Well, okay. You're right. You don't live there. You don't live at home at work like I do. Sorry. Little
You
slip of
could,
the
and there's
tongue.
nothing
You
wrong with
could.
that at all. I have an office at my. I mean, I have an office in my house too.
Yeah, sorry. See, I have no boundaries. Yeah, I have no boundaries in my life. Okay, so last question, because I know that you need to get going, and I appreciate your time with us today, is I want to know how you repurpose this. So we were talking about how you go live, you take that audio, you make it into a podcast, you have the content, the video that stays up. Do you do anything else with the video content you're creating? Do you create social media posts out of it? What have you been
Yeah.
doing?
So again, what's nice being able to download either the audio or the video, especially for me, I'm a video person for the most part. So yeah, I'll take it. I'll make little clips for it. I've got sponsored segments on my show, and what I'll do is actually the way I've built my show is rather than me just doing a 30-second ad or something for the sponsor, we literally have them on for 10 minutes to talk about what they do. In fact, I
Yeah.
should have you guys on my show this
We
month.
would love that. Yeah.
Um, but what we that way they're building a content library for themselves, and so I'll download that file and I'll clip just their 10-minute segment or something and give that to them. So now they've got
Mhm.
that the ability to share that on their social, on their YouTube channels, all those sorts of good things as well. So yeah, having once you have it, there's so many uses for it, but you got to have it. So you got to get started doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. So before I let you go, please tell everyone where we can find you, all the places, all the links. Tell us where
Oh
we
my
can get
God, that
more
would
of
be a
you.
really long list. The easiest is just if the base of all the things I've got going on is aloisi.com, just my
Okay.
last name, Aluisy. It's there on your screen, aloisi.com. You can see all the different things that I've got going on. I would love if you checked out Private Club Radio Live on LinkedIn one of these days, see how I do the show. You
Yep.
might not be interested in the content specifically, but I promise I'll make it fun. You'll learn something. But just check out the show if you're interested in how a podcast can become a live stream show. Check that out. We do it Tuesday mornings, every
Okay.
Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, either on my personal profile on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Private Club Radio on YouTube. Any of those three places, you could check it out there as well.
Absolutely. Gabe, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you coming in. I have gotten a wealth of knowledge and our audience has too. So
Grace, it
with
was awesome. Thanks for having me.
thank you for coming. Have a good day and I'll talk to you later.
Bye bye.
Bye everyone.